Hi, this is Media Summary number 5. And this week's discussion, we're going to be discussing Jeremiah and how I relate to some of the struggles that Jeremiah experienced himself. And so, one of the major things that stood out to me about Jeremiah was that he was not always confident. And in the beginning, he didn't even feel like he was ready for what God called him to do. And I definitely can relate to that. Because there's been plenty of times where I felt unsure and uncertain and like I didn't have everything together for what God has called and the assignment that He has given me. And just because you know what you're supposed to do, that does not automatically give you the feeling like, yes, I'm ready for it. Yes, I'm going to take it on. Sometimes you're going to be like, are you sure? Are you sure you got the right person, God? Like, I ain't even got it all together, God. Like, you're going to question, right? You're going to feel uncertain. So that's relatable to Jeremiah. And so another thing that stood out to me was how hard things were for him. He was trying to speak the truth and people wasn't really listening. People don't like to hear the truth. They like when you sugarcoat stuff, be fake and dress it up, put a bow on it, and make them feel good. They want something to make them feel good because the truth don't feel good. Sometimes the truth hurts you down. It cuts you. It hits you where you only can do nothing but be like, dang. Sad, right? Because everybody lives in this fake fantasy and they don't want to hear the truth these days in our generation. And that had to be frustrating with Jeremiah when people didn't want to listen or they didn't want to hear the truth. It's frustrating now when you tell your friend, I don't think you should do that. Or mom, dad, sister, cousin, co-worker, anybody. I don't think you should do that. Or that's not a good choice. They don't want to hear that. But, oh yeah, you right. They don't want to hear the truth. And there are moments in life where you're going to be doing what exactly you're supposed to do. And it feels like nothing is changing. Nothing is progressing. God, why do you have me doing this and nothing is changing? Like nobody is hearing you or nobody is actually considering what you're telling them. Like, I definitely know that we all can relate to that in different ways. And what I loved about Jeremiah is that he didn't pretend that everything was fine. When I say I'm guilty as charged, I don't know how to act like everything is fine. Because if it's going to come on my face, or it's my body language, or it's just going to come out, because sometimes the filter is not in place and you will be looking like, yep, that's me. I can definitely relate to Jeremiah. And there were plenty of times where he was tired of it. How many times have you gave advice to somebody and you just like, you know what, fine, you got it. You good. You don't want to listen. You got it. But no, he kept going. He kept doing what God told him to do. He stayed committed. He didn't just walk away. We have a lot of quitters in this generation. Oh, it's not working out how I envisioned it's supposed to work out. It's supposed to do A, B, C, and it went W, X, Y. Like, no, Jeremiah kept going. He did not quit. He kept doing exactly what he was called to do. And reading from the introduction to Old Testament of the prophetic book, it helped me to understand this better. That it explained prophets like Jeremiah weren't just talking about the future. They were speaking the truth in situations or where people didn't want to hear it. Again, people don't want to hear the truth. They'd rather hear a lie, or they'd rather hear this fantasy make-believe still a lie. No matter how much you dress it up, put a bow on it, and call it a prison, it's still a lie. It's not the truth. And They were speaking truth in situations where people didn't want to hear it. So his struggle wasn't random. It was connected to the environment that he was in and the role that he had. You cannot help somebody overcome a struggle if you have not been connected to it in some kind of way. That is why it's very important to know what source you're connected to or what environment that you're connected to, because that sometimes determines the struggles that you are going to experience or that you can experience. He experienced those struggles because you can't help nobody overcome a struggle if you ain't had no experience in it. That's just like, how can you tell a parent how to be a parent if you ain't never had no kids yourself? How can you tell somebody stop doing drugs if you've never been on drugs yourself? How can you tell anybody how to do something that you don't have the experience or you have not been connected to or even had the experience dealing with? It don't even have to be you. It could be a family member, a friend, a neighbor. It could be anybody, a coworker. But if you've never been connected to that, to experience those kind of struggles or to actually see it, how can you help somebody overcome that struggle? So his struggle was not random. Far from random. God had him in that environment to experience those certain struggles. That made me realize that difficulty doesn't mean that you're off track. It just comes with what you're doing. Jeremiah's situation shows us that you can be doing exactly what you're supposed to do and still have a hard time. Jesus was doing exactly what God sent him to this earth to do. And look at everything that happened. Sometimes I even noticed that how real he was with God. I talk to God like he's my best friend. How I'm talking to you, I talk to God. Like, God, I just don't understand. Like, you have to have that intimate relationship, that consistent prayer, or where it's a conversation with God. It's not, you got to pray a certain way. God didn't say you have to pray a certain way. You have to have consistent prayer. Pray without ceasing. That's what he said. And praying can just be a conversation that doesn't ever stop. But anyway, let's get back to Jeremiah. Jeremiah expressed exactly how he felt. He didn't sugarcoat it. He told him how it felt when it hurt. He told him when it was not pretty, when it was ugly. But he still through it all. I would have quit. I would have been like, you good, you got it. You don't want to listen? Cool beans. Shoot the deuces, okay? No. Jeremiah still kept going. He didn't give up. He didn't turn back. He didn't say, God, I can't do this. Regardless, the part that encouraged me was the fact that I don't have to be perfect in my faith. As long as I'm honest and I can still grow, I can be honest with God. I can. I don't got to be perfect. I don't got to pronounce my words correctly all the time. As long as I'm honest and God knows my heart, I can still grow. And you can too. And so for me, this looks like continuing to move forward, even on days of when I feel unsure or if I'm tired. Not every day is going to feel clear or easy or a beautiful cover girl, as they would say. And sometimes they won't even go the way I expect. They may go the total opposite. But that doesn't mean stop. That means keep going. I will keep going. You will keep going. And you will handle. I will handle. We will handle what is in front of us. Overall, Jeremiah's story helped me see that struggle and purpose can exist at the same time. Just because something feels difficult doesn't mean it's wrong. Sometimes it just means that you're in a season where you have to keep showing up regardless of how tired, how irritated, how frustrated, how people don't listen. And it may give you stress. It may give you anger, but you got to keep going. You got to keep going. Even though that is not the correct pronunciation or word structure, you got to keep going. I hope that word blessed you.